Ja, herzlich willkommen zu einer neuen Ausgabe SI Talk und bei mir Bradford Cooke, Endeavour Silver, wie jedes Mal. Conflict of Interest, ich habe Aktien, habe auch nochmal nachgekauft bei ungefähr 2,60, 2,64. Da sind wir jetzt ein bisschen drüber, das ist auch gut so, sonst kauft man ja keine Aktien, wenn man dann erwartet, dass die Aktie runterfällt. Wir sind auch beim Goldpreis sehr knapp dran, dass wir ausbrechen, und wenn Goldpreis ausbricht, zieht natürlich Silber erst richtig noch. Bradford said in my German introduction, first I have a conflict of interest, I'm a shareholder. The second is I bought my last stocks with 264 something, it was not bad. And that's the reason why somebody buys stocks, that they make money out of it. You're coming up with interesting news today. So you are back on the growth path. So maybe you can fill us in a little bit.
Yes, indeed. Endeavour Silver Corp had, as you know, a challenging start to last year, but we had finished 2017 with a bang, with our best quarter of the year and with 3 consecutive quarters of growing production and reducing costs. So we got through the startup problems last year, primarily at one mine. And while we're still in recovery mode to get that mine back to normal operations in the next 2 or 3 quarters, the other mines helped to make up for it by exceeding their planned production for last year. That meant that for this year, the guidance that we released today forecasts a 20% increase in silver equivalent production for 2018, targeting somewhere around 10.5 million ounces of silver equivalent production, of which about 6 million ounces is silver and 60,000 ounces is gold.
Is this 20% increase only come from the existing mine or also from new mines?
Well, interestingly enough, it is primarily the existing mines. What you're referring to is mine number 4, which is in advanced development now. El Compass should be having its first shipment of production at the end of March, the end of the first quarter. It will take until about the middle of the third quarter to achieve commercial production at El Compass. So there will be some production, but not as much as the increased production from the other mines.
So that means 2019 we get then the benefit from the 4th mine.
You get a full year at El Compass in 2019, plus an initial production from our 5th mine at Terranera. So we have, as you know, a 3-year growth strategy to build new mines and fuel at least 50% production growth. And mine number 4 is within months now of achieving production.
Great. Today is also a special day. We see a nice move yesterday in the gold price. We are close to the second wave, I think, this new bull market starting in 2006. And the interesting part is that last year silver underperformed against gold. Okay, you're a silver company. You're normally bullish on silver for sure. But do you have any reason why really silver underperformed gold? Normally they have a higher leverage on gold, but there was an underperformance. Do you believe this, or have an idea that maybe this year is the same, or is it the opposite?
So, of course, a historical perspective is always useful in terms of looking forward. And silver is called the poor man's gold for a reason. It typically trails behind gold in any cycle and then plays catch up with a bang. So ultimately, silver does outperform gold for a period of time in each cycle, but not in the start of the cycle. Typically, it lags behind gold at the start of a cycle. So we had actually unusually strong performance of silver with the bounce off of bottom in 2016, but last year it underperformed gold. I expect that to continue for the next few months. I think we're going to have a retest of these new support levels for the silver and gold prices, but they're moving higher, 3 steps forward, 2 steps backward, 3 steps forward, 2 steps backward. And I would not be at all surprised if either late this year or next year, silver finally has what we would call a slingshot move, where it moves past gold in relative performance, because it always has in the past, because the fundamentals say it has to happen, with falling supply and rising demand. And I think it's just a question of being patient. Silver is going to be, I think, very rewarding.
Is there anything what we must know about the company, what maybe the people are not looking too much, or what do you think that it's the people not looking at it and you are really excited about this development?
Well, I think we surprised people with the 20% growth forecast this year, especially after a difficult 2017. But we're through most of those troubles, and clearly the operations are doing better than we had forecasted last year. I think that clearly the focus will turn to the new projects that we want to get Alcompass commercial by the third quarter and regular operations by the third quarter. We want to see Terranera permitted, financed, and starting construction in the second quarter. So these are pretty significant benchmarks for the company. We've returned our focus to growth. We have one of the best organic growth profiles in the sector. We don't need to buy anything to grow the company. We have 3 projects in Alcompass, Terranera, and Parral, each of which have future production potential. Terranera especially should become our largest mine at more than 5 million ounces of production per year with a minimum 10-year mine life. And with the pre-feasibility study already forecasting very, very low cash costs and all-in sustaining costs, less than $5 per ounce of silver produced all in, 3.5 on a cash basis. So Terranera will have the second highest profit margin in our group compared to Bolañitos, which has the bigger margin. But Bolañitos is a smaller mine, so in actual cash value, Terranera will produce the most profits for the company.
I think it was a great update, so I hope that the silver and gold price will break out, is my feeling so. But I think really that when the people look at that was a little bit strange thing. This weekend was the resource conference, the Vancouver Cambridge House Show, and there was a lineup for 1.5 years, 1.5 hours. The people must wait 20 minutes before they get in. So normally you have this on a bull market, but we are far away from the bull market. And there is a good example when you look at the chart of the last 5-10 years. You see exactly that you are not in the bull market.
So, as always, Main Street is way ahead of Wall Street. We don't see Wall Street anywhere in the gold and silver markets, not even close.
One buddy told me that he talked with a guy from Goldman Sachs. Wall Street is looking.
Okay, well, yeah. And by the time they're ready to move, the gold will be $1,500 and silver will be $25.
Yep. I'm fine with them. I can live with them.
And those targets are not unrealistic in the near term.
No, absolutely.
Not this year, perhaps, but in the next 2 years, yeah, absolutely.
1,500 gold this year, why not?
Martin Murenbield, who is a world-renowned gold forecaster, PhD economist, has a subscription service for gold forecasting, which most of the gold companies purchase. And he spoke at the conference here in Vancouver this week, and he himself said there will be a run to $1,500 gold this year with an average price of $1,360. Average price. And we just barely touched $1,360 yesterday.
That sounds not good. Then when the average price means that we must have much lower gold price too.
No, because we've been low. And what he's saying is that we'll bob around this 1350 range for a while, and then we'll see a nice run at year end.
I hope we see the nice run in the first half, and then we have the correction. No, I related to the weaker dollar.
Yes.
The people, the Americans looks now for.
But I would just exercise patience. I think that the dollar is surprisingly weak right now, and will probably turn surprisingly strong in the next few months before it weakens again. So I would just exercise caution. The market is underway. The bull market is underway for commodities as a whole and gold and silver in particular. And a bear market is underway for the US dollar. But it's never straight line.
Absolutely. That's 100% agree. Brad, thank you for the update, and the market will tell us.
Indeed.
And we are both shareholder of them, so hopefully there is only one direction that the market should go.
Yeah, so what did Endeavour do during the bear market? We purchased projects for pennies on the dollar. Why did we do that? Because that's the time to be buying projects so that you can build those mines in time for the bull market. And that's what Endeavour is. We're now back in a bullish mode. We're building new mines over the next 3 years to grow our production and shrink our costs. Each of the new projects have lower cost profiles than the existing mines. And we ultimately want to be a senior silver producer in the next 3 years with lowest quartile costs.
Sounds great. Ja, war ein gutes Schlusswort und er hat, glaube ich, alles in dieses Schlusswort eigentlich reingepackt. Sie kaufen in einem depressiven Markt Projekte, damit Sie in einem Bullmarkt dann diese online bringen können und in Produktion bringen können. Sie sind jetzt dabei, in Produktion diese zu bringen. Sie haben heute announced, dass Sie 20% Wachstum für dieses Jahr sehen. Ganz wichtig. Damit zeigt man auch dem Markt, man ist wieder auf der Wachstumsschiene unterwegs. Sie haben die Kosten, also senken nach wie vor Quartal für Quartal. Und ja, wir haben dann sehr viel hin und her diskutiert über den Gold- und Silberpreis. Aber das liegt ja nicht in unseren Händen. Aber prinzipiell sind wir der gleichen Meinung, dass wir in einem neuen Bullenmarkt sind. Jetzt müssen Sie ihre Ziele erfüllen. Das heißt, dieses 20% Wachstum auch schaffen. Dann wird auch der Aktienpreis dementsprechend reagieren und weiter nach oben steigen. Das war's von Endeavour Silver im Jänner 2018 Vancouver. Tschüss und Baba. Thank you.